So I want to touch on some of the things that this administration is doing right now, because we've seen this before, not just here in America, but all over the world throughout history. This is not America collectively suddenly deciding that being afraid of ideas is strength. This is this administration, through DOJ posture, FBI guidance, and domestic terror framing, moving towards a model where belief, identity, and dissent are treated as security risks. That distinction matters. We don't have to guess where this goes. We've seen this implemented before. Here's how it always starts. A government declares that it's under threat, not from actions, not from violence, but from ideas, from anti-state sentiment, from anti-traditional values, from destabilizing ideologies. Then it expands the definition of extremism until it can stretch over political opposition, minority identities, advocacy, criticism of leadership. Once that happens, the system no longer needs crimes, it just needs categories. You see, in Russia, they don't arrest people for committing terrorism. They arrest people for discrediting the state, for promoting extremist ideology and undermining their traditional values. That's how journalists disappear. That's how LGBTQ people are erased from public life. And that's how protest becomes conspiracy. Law is vague on purpose. The goal isn't justice, it's compliance. Over in Hungary, they didn't cancel their elections. They just redefined the threats. NGOs became foreign agents. Universities became ideological risks. LGBTQ advocacy became corruption of children. All legal, all procedural, all framed as protection. And now dissent exists, but only where the state allows it. In Franco's Spain, people weren't in prison for crimes. They were in prison for moral deviances, anti-national beliefs, subversive ideas. Identity itself was treated as evidence of disloyalty. The result wasn't stability. It was decades of silence enforced by fear. In Nazi Germany, and yeah, this comparison is earned. Before the camps, before mass offings, there were lists of political opponents, LGBTQ people, journalists, intellectuals, degenerates. The crime wasn't violence. The crime was being classified. Once a government decides certain entities or beliefs are inherently suspicious, brutality becomes administrative. When an administration directs law enforcement to treat ideological categories as threat indicators, expand domestic terrorism definitions to include belief systems, frame advocacy or identity as destabilizing, it is not inventing something new, it's importing a playbook. And here's the part that Americans seem to be struggling to accept. This does not require mass arrests to work. It works when people self-censor, organizations dissolve, allies disengage, silence becomes safety. Fear does the governing. A free society investigates actions. An authoritarian society investigates people. When the state starts asking, what do you believe? Who do you associate with? Which communities do you defend? Instead of, what law did you break? You're no longer in a rights-based system. You're in a loyalty-based one. And history is brutally consistent about how this ends. Not with security and not with order, but with stagnation, corruption, and eventually collapse because societies that fear dissent rot from the inside out. This administration wants you to believe that this is about safety. It's not. It's about control during instability. It's about preemptively delegitimizing opposition. It's about making certain people untouchable and others untrustworthy. And once the government decides some citizens are inherently suspect, freedom doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears quietly, procedurally, legally, with applause from the people who think it won't reach them. We don't have to imagine where this goes. We've seen it implemented, and it has never ended with a stronger democracy. Look out for yourself. Look out for a neighbor. Look out for a stranger. Y'all keep doing good.